Okay, so hi folks. Today we're going to be talking about anemones in particular. Okay. See, bubble tip anemones, anemones in general, they are a lot more advanced of a species than most people think. Okay. As you can see right now, this little guy isn't feeling so good, right? This is the first time he has closed up like that since he's been in this tank. And the reason why is I messed with his current. And by his current, I mean all the current in the tank. It's all his current. That was a big mistake on my part. Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Lost Begotten channel. Ooh, the lights just turned off. So, back to the 420 nanometer spectrum. And if you want your corals to grow just perfectly, you want a calcium measurement of 420 parts per million. Something like that. So, today we're going to look at the clownfish for a second because they're adorable. I mean, just look at them, they're so cute. Anyways, and we're going to be talking about anemones, and more importantly, sick anemones. Because chances are, if you bought an anemone and you're on YouTube searching for stuff about anemones, your anemone is sick right now. And as you can see, this little guy isn't feeling too well. He's feeling a little better. He had shriveled up completely. I've had him about 5 days now. And it's 4 days now. And he has been looking glorious. He's been looking better than he was in Rick's tank. Because I think he likes my lighting a little better. I have actually two T5s across this thing, okay? But it's a 20 gallon, okay? You can save a lot of money putting together two 20 gallons instead of buying a giant reef tank and big sump system and all that stuff, okay? Especially on your lighting, because you don't need that much lighting to get through. Okay, so anyways, the Acupora I bought that I haven't been moving around too much is blooming. See, this is a recovery rock, so I got a little tiny piece right there. I don't think we can zoom in on, but it's right behind that Attasia on that knob right in the center of the screen. And there's a little meaty piece right there where I'm hoping it'll attach to this rock. Well, eventually it will attach to this rock. And then I have some purple Acupora. It's green and this is purple. Okay, well, soon to be green. It's not feeling very green at the moment, but it fell beneath my friend's frag rack. You know, broke off the big piece, and this fell off another one. And I'm trying to get it to recover. And while I was messing with the tank, it broke off, so I got another branch. Hey, how about that? But handling Acupora too much can piss it off for quite some time, and you need to leave it very still. Problem with me was I still had some other arrangements to make to my tank because I bought this rock with the anemone and the Recordia. Okay. Love the Recordia, beautiful. So, well, the reason why everything was going so well is because I wasn't messing with the tank. Okay? And if you want to piss off your anemone, mess with your tank. See, what I got here is a Tamrio skimmer up there. I got an Aqua Clear with ChemiPure in it. That's blasting my hard coral. Okay? Oh, how about that? An Aqua Clear freaking mini with ChemiPure in it. Blasting hard coral. this is my return overflow box. Power head in the corner. Excuse me. Smoker's cough. Yeah. So as you can see, I have them angled to blow around the corners of the tank and through the center, where I have the cave of wonders, basically. And I have rubble underneath the big rocks so water can pass through them, basically. Okay? This rock here, I need to do this with eventually. But right now I don't have that done with it because it's huge. But the reason why you want to do this with your rocks, if you want to keep an anemone, is because, well, you see, the water goes in and stuff can go in. Stuff can go into a hole that doesn't have a creature living in it. Okay? And if it's on the ground, guess where it goes? It goes to detritus hell. Okay? And I mean detritus hell. If you've ever licked a rock. Now, I don't recommend licking a rock, but if you've ever lifted a rock, you've seen detritus hell, because it comes up into your fucking water when you lift a rock. Okay, so these are rocks that are already lifted. Got a lift kit on my rocks, man. I can go four-wheeling. Okay. So what this does is allow whatever goes through, whatever goes into your mouth passes through your body. Okay, sorry. A little Jesus quote about being full of shit. Okay, so whatever goes through passes out the rock butt. See, there's the ass of the rock. Those are its little sphincters, and yeah. So recently I did rearrange this, but it was kind of no harm, no foul. I lifted it higher on some of the same rocks in mostly the same positions. You know, it wasn't enough to piss off the tank. Tiger Lily, I know, where's everybody at, and why am I not paying attention to you? I'm sorry. Okay. So, the Codium's, you know, looking how it's been looking for the past decade. Fucking shit. And this little new piece is looking pretty well. The mama clownfish, they're really looking for a spot. Okay, they have been fucking up some hair algae. Okay. Now, so let's talk about phosphates. You need a little bit of phosphate in your water for your corals, just like you need a little bit of water, a little bit more phosphate for your macroalgae, right? Okay, but the whole idea behind the refugium is to keep enough macroalgae to where it can absorb not only your nitrates, but your phosphates. And therefore, for it to continue absorbing nitrates, you have to have a flow of phosphates. Okay, that's why I want to drastically reduce the amount of phosphates I put in my tank, but I don't want to eliminate it. Okay, I want to tolerate a certain amount of hair algae growth, and I want my snails to eat that shit. I want perculus. If you have a mated pair of perculus and you got some hair algae on your rocks, you will have some angry perculus, and they will take out their frustration runs on your rocks. They don't like ugly rocks any more than you do, and they will clean your rocks for you. Believe it or not, percula clownfish are hair algae eaters when there's hair algae in the way. See, she's probably about to go down there and pick some off of that. She's been eating off the sand. Okay, she's been just grabbing it from everywhere, and so is he. Which one is it? That's the she. That's the he. She, he. So, anyways, back to the anemone. So, what I did to piss off my bubble tip, and as you can see, he's still feeling a little better now, a little better in real time right now, was I messed with his current. And by his current, I mean all of the current in the tank. Okay, if you have an anemone, understand, and this is why people who seem like very experienced reef hobbyists think that anemones just like to race around the tank for no damn reason. No, they don't. That piss them off when they do that, okay? See, what pissed this guy off is he already raced around my tank and knows that where he's at is the best light in it. Okay, they kind of have memory. Okay, and I've seen it demonstrated in how they can go back to the same spot. Okay, and they can kind of tell how much light's getting on them. You know, they're not like a dumb coral that will sit there and die if the light doesn't go on it. This coral will move around and try to get more light. Okay, and where it will stop is where it finds the nicest current in your tank. It will find that one place where the waves come together and make the most random motion, so that as it expands little by little and contracts, it can absorb the most plankton. Okay, the people who feed their anemones dead fish need to stop overfeeding your anemones and feed it things that it can catch in the wild. Okay, feed it overgrown plankton of some sort. Feed it lots of different things. This guy was chomping down flake food. Okay, I only put a little bit towards him, but he did grab a couple of pieces while I was feeding the fish. Okay, and if you can feed an anemone just a little bit at a time, instead of feeding it a big chunk of meat, 2 or 3 days or whatever, in a small aquarium, you're gonna seriously just overpollute it like that. But if you can get him to eat small amounts of food, especially if you have an anemone that will take flake food, you are in good shape. Okay, and I mean eagerly. This thing continued to take flake food after tasting it and shat none of it out. Still hasn't shit. That's how I know he's not that pissed off at me. Where did he go? Still hasn't shit. There's still no gunk anywhere. Okay, that is a little piece of hair algae that's been there for days. Okay, just a bubble on a piece out. Alright, and okay, so the thing about being his current, everything in the tank is his current. Alright, and wherever your other anemone is, once you see Tiger Lily, be quiet. Oh my, come here, baby. Once you see where he sits, where your anemone most likely settles, unless you get him into that spot, you'll find that it's kind of where your currents meet. See, I have one tube, sorry about the light glare, I have one tube coming from the bottom right there, one power head right there, and they kind of go off the glass. They can't go up, so they go around this way a little bit, but they mostly go around this way. Then they collide in this area. Okay, so what you have is two fighting currents. See the way some bubbles are going back this way, right? Now, look where the anemone is. And see how he's kind of moving back and forth just a little bit? It's not a steady wave motion like these stupid freaking things they're selling people now. Okay, it's a random current fluctuation like he would actually be experiencing at a freaking deep weave. A deep weave, as opposed to a deep queef, or what you're looking for, which is a deep reef. See, oh fuck, another one of these bastards. I have resorted to chopsticks at this point. Just pulling these guys out with chopsticks. So you don't want your anemone getting unhealthy when you have bristleworms, because the bristleworms will come and finish it off. Okay? And this is making me very nervous to the point where I'm about to use a bristleworm trap of some sort. But, so getting back to current. Well, some people like to get their anemone and continue to add stuff to your tank, and that's fine, okay, but be careful that you're adding things that you don't care about if the anemone clobbers it, because it probably will. eventually. Some, you know, unless your bubble tip or whatever anemone you have is sitting still, it might eventually clobber whatever you put in the tank. Okay, so either you get stuff that likes being near anemones, like Recordias, zoanthids, mushrooms, that kind of thing, okay? Or set up everything before you get your anemone, okay? Because what you don't want to do is buy, say like a, you know, like a stony frag, okay, and put it right up there in the current or somewhere where it could be seriously altering the path of the current. Because, you know, once this water goes on the glass and then comes racing down here towards the sand, it's going back towards those rocks and up and around in different ways, okay? And the way that it goes in one little corner right here can determine how that fluctuation is affecting the anemone over here. Okay? And once that anemone finds that perfect little current spot with the perfect lighting, if you change it, he's going to be pissed. And it's going to shrivel up. And it's going to meow at you, apparently. Fuck's sake. Tiger Lily, would you shut the fuck up? Oh my goodness gracious fucking shit. Great balls of fur. Okay. Oh, speaking of hair algae, some hair algae is coming out of the female's butt right now. Look at that. That's lovely. Oh yeah, I just put that right on camera and zoomed in on it. I have no shame. So that's proof that, yeah, because if you keep fish, you might know that when a fish eats long hair algae, and the phosphates are still kind of high in the tank. Oh yeah, it comes out their butts. And if you're wondering why it comes out their butts, that's because your phosphates are still high. Okay, I see. Reduced phosphates will cause weakening. Okay, so if you get it down to that sweet spot where your caulerpa is growing at a proper rate, and I think I need to actually add a little bit, just a little bit of current down here. I want to have seahorses down here, but okay. So once your phosphates are absorbing a sufficient amount, caulerpa is absorbing a sufficient amount of phosphates. Why isn't that moving? What are you stuck on something now? Oh no, it's just in the slow drift area. So that's my revolving seaweed clump of great caulerpa. Huh. So it usually spins around rather quickly, but it's kind of in that spot right before it hits the quick current again. It seems to be kind of stuck there, but eventually it'll come around. So, all the current in your tank belongs to your anemone. And when you go adding other branchy corals, you can slow down the current going towards your anemone. And that's why it races around when everything's perfect in the tank and the anemone otherwise seem perfectly happy. Okay? So, he's still starting to look a little bigger and a little bubblier. Obviously I've set the current back the way it was. I didn't try to improve it again. I just put it back the way it was. You can also cause ammonia, nitrate, those kind of spikes by changing your current if it doesn't wind up optimal when you change it. So, you know, if you change it and if there's a dead zone caused by putting better current on the zone that you wanted it on, you need to change it back. You know, maybe find some other way to do it. So, Alright, that's all for now. I'm probably going to make a video soon of exactly what this is and why I have it like this, because this is basically the cheapest way to keep salt water. And I have a lot of very long, I've been in this hobby for 30 years, okay? I've got a lot of easy, headache-free ways that you can keep most things. You can't keep the super delicate stuff, okay? But you can have a lot easier time of keeping most things with the method that I'm gonna, kind of reveal about, that I've developed as far as saltwater keeping goes. And I watched, I don't want to say the competition, but the other contributors, a lot of very knowledgeable people on how to, as far as keeping very advanced stuff. You can learn a crap ton from these guys on YouTube. And if any of you are watching me, thanks, man. I'm gonna explain a way you can maybe nab some less motivated, more amateurish customers, maybe, hopefully. If you find my advice helpful, click the like button. And if you like this video, click the like button. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Take it easy. Peace.